This is Commander Bengali. I have, after a rather grueling adventure, slamming into an asteroid I didn't even see and doing some damage and then repairing said damage and moving on. It is 41 days later, and I have arrived in parking orbit next to the planet. Let me see. So, planet is here. I have not done any investigating. I see clouds and such, so I'm presuming there is indeed water, even though I can't see any. We have the moon over here, about 70 something kilometers distant. Oh, sorry, grueling run. Let me see, 113 kilometers, so I'm way outside the gravity well in this case. And then there is an asteroid over here. Oh, sorry. I'm seeing asteroid, but where the heck is it? Oh, it's 126 kilometers distant, so I can't see it from here, but it's over there. So the 5 kilometer asteroid, just based on tertiary investigation, appears to be a very, very large multi-mineral deposit. I would probably never be able to mine it in a lifetime. Moon, and I'm also getting these strange signals over here that I have investigated a few. They appear to be very small satellite type containers. I have no idea how they're getting here. So lots of interesting stuff inside. So now that we are in a parking orbit, my intention was to dismantle all of the extra, well, basically the movement capability of this thing. No more real need for it anymore. I figured I would disconnect and or I could just dismantle it as I go. So it did me well. Took a long time to get here, which was expected, given the distance. But I'm glad I'm finally here. And having said that, I guess it's time for dismantling, and we'll put all the various parts and pieces into use, I hope. Don't know what to expect, but hey, having a Class N planet nearby certainly is not a bad thing. So I am very happy that very happy to make the discovery. So I'm not sure, maybe just a rather systematic approach here. Go right down the line and get rid of everything. Let's go up. Up and over. Hit that one. Hit that one. And that one's now free. Free floating. I think it would be kind of neat to save all this hydrogen, but I don't see that there's any point. The other side of the equation is maybe I'm going about this totally ass backwards. So let us let's approach things in a little different fashion, because after all, these a good test. The nanites here can actually, so this is a corner piece. Get back off a little corner. Welder. Already 100%. So my thought process here is that this whole frame down here, once I get it detached from the main station here, I could actually just tell the nanite factories to dismantle it, which would actually save me quite a bit of energy, I think. So back to 6 and 8, and spin this around in the correct direction. Oh. And 8, 8, and already there. Okay, grinder. Suppose the reality is this isn't touching, but it is not actually connected, but I'm going to make absolutely sure that it is not. Alright, so that would also be a problem. So we will dismantle that one. The other side is this thing here, because this was connected in. Right, so this is almost dismantled, or rather almost disconnected. So let us go over here, and I've got only these little pieces here left before this is entirely disconnected. So the fact that all these have lost power says we are now disconnected. So theoretically I could, there is a special beacon, right, so we can get rid of that. There is a projection deconstruction that we can put right there, and then of course they're not doing a damn thing. Well, that would be part of the reason why. Yep, now they're active. Ownership matters. Let us go into control panel. We will do the same thing here, and me is fine. So two things have to happen before that's relevant. Is obviously disconnected. It cannot be the same grid because it can't dismantle itself. And ownership. Alright, so while that is set and running, I'm going to go over here and investigate this thing. These strange little containers. They're actually kind of neat. They all have a button, which strangely enough is marked with the unknown signal, and then it does this, mostly that. But hey, at least we tried, and then I can get parts. Oh darn, I didn't want to do that. Checked what was in it first. Alright. And with that having happened, asteroid, moon, and actually 4 kilometers away, so we'll go back. Miner is also there. So I don't know if this was the ideal place, but I wanted it far enough from the planet so I'm not just, you know, a couple kilometers away from hitting the gravity well and plummeting. And I wanted it, you know, not Lagrange point, but, you know, between the planet and the moon. Obviously, because this derives a certain amount of power off solar, then it had to be oriented properly. So the all these panels should be running at 100%. Yes, so as I get to watch as the well, I guess I could help. These unknown signal was detected. That was quick. Oh, that's okay. That should be over here. That's the. So really, what I want to do is put all of this ice. How about an eye? Put all the ice in here. It'll probably vanish shortly. And then everything else goes in here. Inventory. So all this stuff. Yeah, I guess I can put those in there. Those can go into the one of the assemblers to dismantle and turn it into back into ingots, and then shuttle all the ice back and forth, and now it looks like all the actual things have disappeared. So I don't know what happened to all the ice that was on this side. Obviously these are the cleanup guys that do pretty well. Oh, those were really, really small pieces. And obviously we still have one tank, so everything now is dismantled. We have, wow, we have five reactors that are dead. Probably due to not having any uranium. So I do need to find more uranium. Oh, this was over here. Those two. I do need to go through here and I could actually disconnect. In fact, I think I will disconnect the miner now that it is not going anywhere. So we can do a 6, which will unlock. And in this case, I can completely power this down because it is not in use right now. I just want to verify this is indeed a station. Yes, it is. Oh, we have another one. Alright, one last thing before I go. Hey, these are not... Oh, that's because it's a spare. Alright, never mind. Both of these spares. I have 2 programmer blocks. Okay. Now this is set up. So that controls the programming block that actually runs the LCDs. So without that, the LCDs were displaying their last, basically their last material, whatever was on them last. Alright, so let's, we'll go and investigate this thing because it's got 9 minutes before it vanishes back to wherever it came from. Oh, well, that's cool looking. There's the Mark 16 container. Try my luck. Didn't buy anything. Well, normally I would grind this down, but not having the patience at the moment. Sorry, a little out of character there. everything has turned green. So let me see. I need to do a few little modifications here, which is really to say get a few other things set up. So this is a direct connector to those. Oh, which didn't really matter other than I could put that into. Storage. So let's put this in there. So a lot of this could get ground down if I really wanted to, because, well, not ground down, but all these tools that I've got tools, so I don't really need more tools. Bottles is always good to have, and I don't have any more bottles, but you know, some of these lesser tools, this could actually go into the refineries. Well, actually it can't, because it's not considered ore. Although maybe that's a good check. So ingots and ice. This no, raw materials. There we go. So ore, stone, gravel. I could actually add. Let's go down here. Scrap. Scrap metal. Add. So if this is working, that should have just pulled that scrap metal in. Or would it have? Nope, I guess it can't because it's on the wrong side. So let me fix that. But it was a good discrepancy to find. Nope. See, these are all on the output side of all the processes. So in the end, scrap metal is one of these things that. So let's look. Scrap. Okay. Nope. No other scrap metal anywhere. So from the pull-in side, it dumps everything into here, and then now this sorter can pull through scrap metal, which, while not really a raw material, it can't be used for anything. So it has to go back through a refinery, and in this case, the only way to get to the refineries is basically through that sorter. So let me put this in here. That should take about a billionth of a second, and then the sorter has now pulled that ingot out and deposited it. So this sorter here, which is ingots and ice and drain, which should have dumped it into here. Which is kind of hard to tell because we have so many ingots of everything. So in fact, I think we have everything. So AG, AU, CO. Iron, we have magnesium, nickel, platinum, silicon, and of course the only thing we are actually missing is uranium. So I guess one of my first projects is to find uranium, get the station here up to par, I literally have only one antenna on here, so I have no extra light capability for communications, which I was hoping I would, and should have probably investigated that before now. After all, I had 42 days in transit to work out the details. Oops. Wow. I've been babbling, and there's another one. So let's go over and investigate. Maybe we'll even dismantle this one. Oh, I guess there was a reason why I had that grinder. I think I've seen this one before too. Yes, I have. That is a Mark IV. So having hit that one, then the first thing I'm going to do is push the button. So as you can see, all these are designed to they spawn close to you. Is the whole concept here. So for those of you who are, of course, I'm stepping out of character here. For those of you who are avid players of the game, this was part of the latest revision of the game. The latest update was a major update. So they added customizable elements to your character. So they're pretty nice. Supposedly they are persistent. And they added I guess treasure chests, which just like you saw here, so try your luck. And oh, look at that. Oh, rainbow grinder. Oh my god. So supposedly there are 33 different sets, and what is meant by sets is, so you've got a grinder, a welder, your weapon, and the drill. And then you have the 4 elements of your suit, which are the boots, the gloves, your helmet, and your suit itself, which is both the torso portion and the legs portion. So you really have 8 different items that make up a set. So from the reading, there were 33 different sets. Now, I just can't see myself using a rainbow grinder, but rainbow grinder it is. Most every item you can trade on Steam. So I don't know how that process works, because I've never traded anything on Steam, but supposedly these items that you don't want, you can trade. So I've picked up about 20 of these so far, and what I mean by these is these items here, the actual containers. And I have gotten 3 items, the cow gloves, and the cow gloves. Yes, I did get 2 of those. So I was a little disappointed, because I don't think I need cow gloves twice. I was kind of hoping I would have something else. But cow gloves. So was disappointing, but nonetheless. Unknown signal was detected. Hey, how about the only thing that I could possibly say about you can actually take that out. That is so cool. These things spawn in like 5-minute intervals, which I know they're new and all that, and it's it gives you the ability to find stuff, kind of the treasure chest sort of thing. But I think a 5-minute spawn period is a little silly. But having said, oh, and some of them move. So in this case, you just have to. In the case of this one, it only has one thruster. And I just want to, oh darn it. The other interesting thing is that it powers down after it's done with everything. So the little sensor there, which was inertial dampeners being off makes this kind of on it. There we go. And the station. There's the station. All right. My inertial dampener is back on. I'm about out of energy anyway. So anyway, I guess this is Commander Kenti Bengali, and I think I'm signing off for an indefinite period of time. My mission ahead seems clear, starting with gotta get some uranium. And once I have discovered uranium, I think this area, as you can see, has just as many asteroids everywhere as everywhere else. So even some really big ones. So I don't think I will have any trouble finding resources for which I am grateful, and given the fact that that the planet is indeed so close, I think that also will eventually be a blessing, especially if I am truly stranded out here and can, like I was saying, truly stranded out here with nowhere to go. If I can't reach anybody, then could be an interesting time. So with that, I will bid everyone who perchance ever listens to these visual logs, I wish you the best. I hope I have the luck to have the same.